Okay, I hate to act like a dumbass, but are we at war? I mean, did we ever officially declare war? Declare war? Who's got time to declare war when there are so many bombs to drop? Less than a month after the September 11th attacks of 2001, after George W. Bush declared his war on terror, a man in a weird Brooklyn apartment, a man basically no one had heard of, sat down at his girlfriend's bubbly blue iMac with a glass of Jim Beam bourbon whiskey and loud R&B slow jams in his headphones for some reason, and created the first few strips of a comic that came to be known as Get Your War On. Came to be known is maybe quite an understatement. After that one night of furious oh, by the way, hello. This is EDLUNDART. That's my channel about comics, animation, art, culture, graphic design, whatever I want. It's my channel, okay? My name is Board, which is spelled like this. Welcome, hi, subscribe, whatever. Okay, let's go. After that one night of furious inspiration, he uploaded his crude strips made from public domain clip art to his website and emailed it to a few of his friends. Within days, his work was everywhere, all over the world. This guy went viral before we had social media platforms to enable that kind of virality. Knock knock. Who's there? Neo-imperialism. Neo-imperialism who? I just wanted to see if you could pronounce it. His website had no personal information on it, not even his name. But it did have a list of stores that carried his other clip art comics, which were stapled together, photocopied DIY affairs. Journalists started calling these stores looking to find out who this guy was who was creating these unhinged but emotionally resonant comics. Oh my god, this war on terrorism is gonna rule. I can't wait until the war is over and there's no more terrorism. I know. Remember when the US had a drug problem and then we declared a war on drugs and now you can't buy drugs anymore? It'll be just like that. Right. God, if only that war on drugs hadn't been so effective. I could really use some marijuana right now. The man's name was David Rees. Rees grew up in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Wikipedia says that according to Rees, he and his friends recorded over 3,000 songs as members of a secret band. He drew comics for the school paper at Oberlin College and later did fact-checking for Maxim and Martha Stewart Weddings, two magazines known for their reliance on accurate facts. For Get Your War On, Rees probably drew on his experience working that cubicle life for Citicorp. What did you think of the president's interview on Sunday? Holy sh**, that guy was the president? You got it. Remember Abraham Lincoln? This guy has the same job. Well, I guess it's inspirational. If a man who can't talk can become president, surely I can invest in the stock market and become a millionaire. The comic made its way into Rolling Stone magazine and later into proper books. I'll put links in the description so you can buy them. The books were translated into Spanish, French, and Italian, and Rees donated all the royalties to Adopt a Minefield, an organization that works to remove landmines in post-conflict areas. Overall, Rees has had a weird career, making an impact in comics, television, theater, animation, podcasts, and music, all sort of escaping proper fame. But Get Your War On remains relevant to this day. Depressingly relevant. How are you if you're an illiterate Afghan widow with 4 kids whose home has been bombed and you have to walk to another country before winter sets in? That depends on how you are if you're a single mother of 4 who's just been laid off and you're too broke to move out of New York. Does it depend on how you are if you're an oil industry lobbyist and Lockheed Martin shareholder and recent events have given you such a huge woody that you can't fit into your trousers anymore? I'm telling you, Ariel Sharon is a man of peace. He's a pacifist. True, things do get peaceful in a town after Sharon rolls through. Oh wait, yeah, it's so peaceful because everything's completely destroyed. Dude, are you anti or something? Hey, are you on CNN.com? They've got a really interesting poll. They ask, is Al-Qaeda sending coded messages to followers via video statements? You can answer yes or no. What about how the would I know? Who's qualified to answer a poll about coded video statements? Any American who bothers to answer that poll probably masturbates to Tom Clancy novels. Wow, 100,000 responses. In a great interview on therumpus.net, David Rees talks about this strange career journey and how he likes to conceive of projects that have planned endings. With Get Your War On, he planned to keep making it until George W. Bush was out of office, and indeed, when Barack Obama was sworn in, Get Your War On was done. I quite admire this sort of chapter-based approach to a creative life. I think more people could benefit from structuring their work in this way. Maybe not financially, but anyway, the interview mentions that in 2010, Rees found himself working for the census just to be able to pay his bills. When he started the job, a coworker instructed him about proper pencil sharpening technique, and for reasons that I have some difficulty comprehending, this led Rees to really go deep and research more about pencil sharpening. Like he researched the history of the pencil, and he talked to industry experts and read whole books about it and so on. And eventually he decided that he would start a pencil sharpening business. I love people like this, you know, people who come up with the most idiotic businesses, but then they kind of end up working, you know? And also because, like, who's to say that one business is any more stupid than another, right? Like, most of what we do is idiotic. Anyway, the idea was simple. People could send him their pencil, and then he would sharpen it for $15, and he would return it to the customer in a protective tube, and he would include a certificate and the pencil shavings as proof of the exchange. I like how this business really seems like a humorous art project that still has its footing in the sort of cubicle world that David Rees was already inhabiting. Which brings me to another thought I had about Get Your War On. I'm glad we're selling $20 billion in weapons to Saudi Arabia. I like those guys. What do you like about them? Well, for one thing, they have great taste in weapons. In most articles and interviews I read about this comic, the agreed-upon narrative is that this is a comic in which the art really doesn't matter. This is primarily a comic that's kind of carried by its writing. And of course, on the surface, I would agree. It is all about the writing. But I think the use of the clip art is actually quite central to this comic's success. The mundanity of the art and the repetitive nature of it really contains a lot of meaning. Specifically, I think, like, how do I articulate this? There's something about the clip art that says, I don't care about this. But in a way that stems from the idea of just doing things a certain way because it's how it's always been done. Like when you get a new job and someone shows you how you should sharpen your pencil because that's how he was shown how he should sharpen his pencil when he started the job. Now, if you're a younger viewer, you probably don't have a relationship to clip art. But basically, clip art was what normies in your office would put in their emails to spruce them up, you know, and show their fun personality. Except it's literally stock imagery, so it shows nothing at all other than your complete lack of taste. Not necessarily bad taste, just no taste, no thought. So when David Rees juxtaposed this with American geopolitics, he really showed through art how repetitive and uninspired the American war machine really is. It's just the same script over and over again. They're bad, we're good. Let's drop some bombs and surely freedom will ring. And I think that if somebody wanted to make a Get Your War On for our age now, the natural way to do it would be through AI slop, like this. That's how you would show the same par for the course vibes, the same lack of geopolitical vision, and the same sense that we're all stuck in this eternal hellscape that is never going to get better. Sleep tight.